Hello everyone, Mark Corvin from Survival Bushcraft and Emergency Preparedness, back with you to do our final video on this making of this fish trap basket. Feels good to be back, guys. It's been almost a couple of months now since I've been able to do anything with the big business transaction stuff that's been going on. Been a lot going on, but anyways, getting caught up now. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Bear with me, and we'll get this right back on track. Anyhow, let's get on with this. This is our final step. What we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to make the insert for our fish trap. Okay, now this is basically, as we've already covered, the actual construction of this using red twig dogwood, and as well we even put some willow saplings in here. Basically what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to create an insert piece that's going to lift in and out of here. That's going to have a hole in the center about 3 inches wide to allow your fish to go in, and the fish just can't figure out how to come out, so they end up getting stuck. So this is going to be a quick video here, guys. This shouldn't take too long to do. I'm going to change angles from the camera and try to give you a face down kind of look so you can actually see what I'm seeing. So we're going to be working in a small area, you know, with a little cone shape. So hang in there. I'm going to change the camera up to my head mount, and we'll get to cracking on this thing. So real quick here, just going to give you an idea of how I'm starting this. I've made myself a little bit of a kind of a platform here. It's a shelter frame. But nonetheless, I use it for other things too, such as what I'm doing here. I even use it to hold my kayak. But anyways, what I've got here, guys, as you can see, I'll try to back up, is I've got a whole bunch of dogwood. All right, and what I've done is I've gone ahead and stripped them. And as you can see here, I've got them kind of staged where in sizes, okay, from large to all the way down to the small skinny ones, okay. And it's a no-brainer why I did that. That way we've got some kind of, you know, organization in this. These baskets do take a while to make, and it's always good to have some form of organization, you know. All right, well, nonetheless, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to switch up the camera now to the head mount, and we're going to get cracking on making this insert. And then this portion of our fish trap basket set will be complete. Then we'll get her in the water, and we'll hopefully catch something here ASAP. So hang in there. Okay, guys, so here we go. What we're going to do here, guys, is what we want to do is make a cone. So naturally what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 circles, one smaller than the other. So what we're going to do is, what we've done here is, what I've started is to create the upper circle, which is the big one, obviously. And what these are going to do is they're going to sit down inside of here, and they're going to kind of lock in place. And what we're going to do is we're going to make another little one that's going to be here. Okay, so just as I kind of showed you earlier, and I'm gonna run this all through you. Just hang in there. The fish can swim in, okay, but they can't swim out. They just don't have the brain power to figure it out. So this is how the trap actually works. So anyhow, what I've done here, guys, I've just taken a piece of the dogwood and I worked it just like I've shown you earlier on in the earlier sets. These things can get kind of stiff sometimes, but if you work them and you kind of get them moving, keep them warm, keep it moving, and break those fibers loose inside, these things can be tied into knots, literally. So okay, what I've done here, guys, is to get a head start. As you can see, what I've done is I've taken my ends and I've kind of lashed them together here to hold it together, and then I took it and just kind of weaved it in and out like this here to kind of lock it in place. And ideally we would want to secure the other end as well. Okay, so we got that top piece ready. So this bottom piece, what we want to do, guys, is try to take this down as tight as possible, down to around 3 inches. Oh, excuse me. Around 3 inches is about ideal size that we want. You can make them bigger. This is already a very large trap as it is. We're going to be doing another one similar to this in another set coming real soon. A little bit different, it's a different technique, but it's the same thing. But anyways, as I said, we want to take this thing and coil it down and just kind of make it into around 3 inches. It doesn't have to be perfect, but in that general area. Okay, and as you can see what I'm doing. Now, if these could break on you, don't worry about it. All right, just keep moving on, get a different piece, and move on. So it will happen, okay? So remember that. Try to always have a little extra materials on hand, just in case. But it will happen. But as you can see, guys, what we're doing here is I'm kind of weaving this on down. Got a nice tight little circle here. All right. Now, ideally, what we want to do is to secure this with some cordage. What I've got here, guys, is paracord. Little pieces I cut off in 1 foot lengths. Now, I want to suggest something to you if you're into doing this. Paracord is not the best thing to use for these. It'll work fine for a short period of time. It doesn't like to hold very well. All right, and it stretches really bad. So bank line is really good, or natural cordage, you know, what have you. But just to give you a little tip there. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick little lashing here with a square knot at the end. It's nothing major, just to kind of keep things in place. All right, so naturally, like I said, you kind of want to do both ends. Do them nice, lash them, take your time. You can run it all the way down. You can do a whole sleeve if you want to in this. All right, I'm not going to worry about aesthetics and being all sexy. The stuff, as long as it works, that's what counts for me. Okay, so as you can see, what we have here is we now have the ability to, this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, it's going to be a cone shape. Now, like I said, this is a very large trap. They don't have to be this big. You can make them, you know, a third this size, half this size if you like. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to take ribs, and we're going to lash ribs, 5 ribs that I've done. Remember, we're doing these in odd numbers, 5, 7, 9, etc. Many people prefer using the higher 7, 9, you know, however many you want to, but just remember, we use those numbers like that because of the fact of how we weave our saplings through. Many people like to take their saplings and run them every other direction because of the thin ends that are on them. So remember that as well. That is a very good technique and is widely used. I did not use that when I made this. I just simply started wrapping it and getting it good to go. That's all I care about, is making this thing functional. So let's get the rib pieces now, and we're going to start lashing those together. All we're going to do is use square lashings and lash them together. We do one at a time. Alright, guys, here we are. We are now going to tie our rib pieces in to our outer rings. So I prefer to go on the inside with these. Others may say different, but this is just what I prefer myself personally. Inside or outside, I guess that would really depend on you. But anyways, what we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to tie this off with a simple basic square lashing. So get that done. Make sure it's tight. Make sure everything's good and snugged up. Now I'm just going to tie this off with a basic square knot. Just remember, if you plan on keeping one of these for a long period of time, I suggest not using paracord. Paracord should only be used in a short, time period. Anyways, okay, here's one. Now we want to do the same thing. We're going to go 5 around. Remember, you're in kind of you want to make sure you're evenly spaced when you're doing these, so kind of get a picture of where you're going to put them in your mind. Okay, if you want it to be strong, okay, I think this will work. Kind of a little bit off center because you're using an odd number, so keep that in mind. All right, so I'm just using a basic overhand knot, nothing major, doesn't have to be. We're not catching whales. This is South Dakota. The fish here get pretty big and get 20 pounds easily, but nothing that big's gonna fit in this thing anyways. Okay, now nice tight square lashing. Remember, keep everything snug. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to run through this real quick. Okay, so I'm going to finish these up real quick on these ribs, and then we'll start with the weaving. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so here we go. I've gone ahead and gotten this put together. It is kind of time consuming, that's why I kind of paused the camera while I did it. Yes, it is ugly right now, but oh well. We'll clean all that up later on once we get everything finished. But as you can see, what I've done is just made spokes. Okay, and what this is going to do is just sit straight down up in there, and it's going to lock in. Okay, when it's all done, we're just going to kind of wedge it up in there. It's flexible. We want it to be good and tight fit. We don't want a nice fish getting up in there and being able to push it out. So here we go. Give you an idea. It's a little bigger than 3 inches, but that's all right. So the only thing left now, guys, is to start weaving our it's to start weaving our saplings. All right, and that's all that's left here. That's it. Best to do this on a surface of some kind rather than trying to do it like I am. All right, so actually what's going to happen here, guys, I'm just giving you a rundown of how this works. I mean, you know the rest from here. So what I'm going to do is take a few minutes, and just like before, I'm going to make this a shorter video than the others have been, and I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go ahead and get this going, and then we'll check out the finished product, and we'll be good to go. Okay guys, so we're on our final stage here. Just a couple more of these little saplings to go through. As you can see, this is what I've gotten so far. This is what you're looking for. This is your goal, to try to keep these also as tight as you can. This is fairly loose. I'm not overly worried about it because it's going inside of another one. I don't see any reason for a fish to get slipped through a double layer of these. So, but on the basket itself, do your best to keep your saplings, whatever you use, as tightly as possible. You still want, obviously gaps, and you're always going to have them, but those gaps are necessary. You want that thing to sink into the water, so you got to have some air. But anyways, this is where I'm at now. I'm just kind of trying to feed this stuff through for just one more last one. It's kind of hard because I got some really long ones in here, and the longer they are, the harder they are to use. So it's just a patience game. You will get very frustrated from time to time, guys. I don't care how happy of a man or woman you are. This will give you a headache from time to time. And you will get angry. You will get frustrated. You'll be like, why? Just don't give up. I'm preaching to you about that, and I'll tell you what, guys. I've got one of the shortest fuses that there is out there, and sometimes this kind of stuff just get so aggravating. It just makes me just so pissed off sometimes. But as I was saying, these longer pieces here, they really do get kind of harder to use, especially when you're on something small like this. So as you can see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of weaving them in, finishing it up. So just hang in there. We're going to pop this one in, and then I think we're going to say this is good for now. The only thing that I'm going to do afterwards when I'm done with this, guys, is I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to snug everything up. I'm going to clean it up, kind of get some of the big long pieces that are sticking out cut off. I'll probably go through the top of this as well as the top of the rim on the basket itself, and go through and basically just kind of take some cordage and just kind of see, like how this is kind of wrapped like this. I'm going to get probably a good inch or two in a few spots just to really secure it real good. And you can even go down the length of the body of the basket and just put you in a few, you know, strips here and there just to kind of secure everything, make sure nothing falls apart, because a lot of this is just gravity holding this stuff together. So just think about that. A little tip for you. Let's see here. Okay, that's inside. I'm going to come out on this one, and we're just about done here. Okay, so I think we pretty well can call this finished. Alright, now what I'm going to do here, now first of all, you can see here what I'm saying about cleaning up is all this leftover stuff. Now here's something here that during the process, this lashing came loose. It's not a big deal because it's all still super secured, but just something to keep in mind to look over your stuff just to see, because this does happen. Remember what I said, paracord likes to slip, okay, unlike bank line. See how loose that is? Unlike bank line or you know, other forms. But anyways, what we want to do now, guys, is just grab a saw, go through and clean this up. I still have a few gaps in here I would like to fill, to be totally honest. Okay guys, so we've come to the conclusion of our video set on these fish baskets. These particular ones, guys, I would consider to be a cone-shaped fish trap basket. There are other styles that we have not covered yet, which will be very soon. But here we go here with a couple that I finished. Here is the one that we just finished, that we've been working on, that this video is based on. Here's our insert that we just finished, and the trap itself as we have finished. It still needs to be cleaned up a little more, and just a few little tweaks here and there, just making sure everything's good and snug. Now over here, what we have is one that I've already finished. This was done prior to this this project. It is a much larger one that is built the same way. This little guy here will hold a lot of fish. It's got about a 3-inch hole for him to get in, and like I said, they can't find their way out. So this little guy here is pretty big. He's a monster compared to this one. You can see there's a little bit of a difference here, especially in the diameter. So, but I hope you guys like I said, I know this isn't a perfect representation how to make these. I didn't make everything all pretty and sexy, but if you were need to do this anyways, what's the need to try to make it pretty? I mean, the idea is to catch fish, and that's simple. So don't be worried about aesthetics and being all prim and proper, and follow the rules when you're making these. Make it so it works and be done with it. Don't try to overdo it. And I'm telling you guys, these things are nice and they work. But anyways, thanks for following along. And again, I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to finish this set. We are still going to do one more part to this here soon, where we're going to get these things in the water. and see what we can catch. So hang in there. We got a few more of these types of traps that we're going to be doing in videos real soon here. I got a lot on the table. I got a lot of catching up to do after almost 2 months without not doing anything. So thank you for your time, guys, and please, as always, pitch in, comment, give some advice. Thank you for being there. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you. Have a great day. Good evening. Have a good one, guys.